This video is gonna be a little bit different because I'm not using any power tool. Instead, I'm gonna be showing you how I made this 34-inch wreath for a big window, and also how I made this 45-inch wreath for a huge window without requiring a huge budget. I'm Tony, and let's get started. Yes, dollar castle. $7. Hula hoops. Is this supposed to be bacon? Bacon. Next up, the other dollar store. We're going from Dollar Castle to the Dollar Tree over there. The bells. I need a basket already. For this break, the tools we're gonna be using are scissors, black electrical tape, green wire, hot glue. I'm going to start with the 33-inch wreath, and for that, I'm gonna be using a hula hoop as my base. I also got 2 insulation foam pipes. You can also use instead a pool noodle. I couldn't find any, I guess they're just not in season. Let's get started with this. I'm just going to get the hula hoop inside of the insulation pipe, and for this one, I'm gonna try to overlap and keep the gap of the first one in the center of the second one. You can also just use one. I'm using 2 because I want the wreath to be a little bit thicker. And then I'm gonna flip it over and remove the plastic protector. The side with the adhesive is going to help to keep the pipe in place. But just to be on the safe side, I also use the electrical tape. And then for the edge, I use a lot of electrical tape to keep the foam on the hula hoop. Don't worry about that gap. Next step is the garland, 15 feet long garland. I like this one because it has 2 shades of green and also is very thick. So the thicker you get, the less you need. This one is about 5 inches thick. So I'm gonna start here from the top, right here. These garlands usually have some wire. I'm gonna be using that one to use my green wire and hook this end to the loop, the hula hoop, right here. I'm going to glue later this part, but I need this for now to be kind of adjustable. So I'm gonna start winding up the garland around the ring. I don't want the gaps to be way too close. Anyways, the foam is black. That helps a lot hiding the gaps in between. I don't need to cover this part of the ring yet. What I'm gonna do next is use the hot glue to secure this part of the garland on the edge. I do the same thing with the other side. Next step are the lights. So I'm getting the ones that are C9. I'm gonna go by the price because I know that they are $9. This one's 16 feet. Yes, I'm gonna be using C9 LED lights just because these are the same lights I already have outside at the house and I want them to match. But you can also use cheaper ones. And to keep it in place, get the connector between its own cable, pass it through and leave it there. And now it's secure. After that, I just start winding the lights on the same direction of the garland. So for example, here we have the space of the 2 garlands. You can see the black foam. So that's where I want to have the lights going through. Don't get it too tight because we want to adjust later. And when I got to the end, I just do the same thing with the female connector. I just secure it by passing it through its own cable. And then I just start adjusting everything, making sure to kind of cover the gaps in between. And I still have lights in the back, so I don't really want lights in the back. I want to move them to the front. And for me to like see them better, I'm going to plug in the lights. So these particular lights, they have like a hook over here. I'm gonna be using that too. For example, this one it's behind. So if I wanted to have it on the front, I'm just going to grab its own cable here in the back and I'm going to hook that right there, and it's gonna keep the light on the front. So I basically do the same thing with any other lights that are on the back. And that's how it looks from the front. You can tell that most of the lights are on the front, because on the back you can only see the ones that are on the sides, on the edges. I'm going to continue with the bow, so you can do your own if you want to. And we're gonna use the bow to cover this gap. And basically it's gonna look like that. Simple. You can keep it just like that, the bow and the wreath with the cheap lights you want to, the ones that are $3. And this wreath basically is gonna be like around $16 total. But if you wanna go a little bit extra, I have some more stuff to add. These bells from the dollar store. I don't need this hook, so I'm gonna be using the same green wire to hang those bells. Get these two cables right behind the front small bow. I have jingle bells. Now from here you can go as many ornaments you want to. If you're gonna be hanging these ones outside, you can get some wire here, just do a loop and then just hang it in a screw or something, whatever you have. But I'm doing these ones for the windows. I'm going to be using just ribbon. For the ribbon, I'm just gonna cut like, I don't know, like 20 inches. I don't need that much. Hot glue. I'm just gonna add more, get the bow with the bells at the same time. This is how it looks so far. I got more ornaments. I don't even need to glue these. For these ornaments, I'm gonna be using... I actually don't like it with these things here. No, I'm not gonna be using this. Not a fan. I had to buy an extension cord. Let's plug that in. This is the final. Now let's move on with the big wreath that's going to be 45 inches in diameter. This is perfect. $9, 4 by 10. And it's kind of dirty. Yeah, I think it'll work. For the huge wreath, I'm gonna be using a drainage pipe. Just because we run into the possible problem of having this one turning into an oval, I'm just gonna get some green wire from the bottom to the top to keep this as a circle all the time. Okay, for this one I'm gonna be using two 16-feet long garland. Because this one is huge, I don't want to wrap the whole pipe, otherwise I'm going to spend too much of this. So my plan is just to get around and also on the inside and on the center. Now that I'm done with the front, I'm going to continue with the inner part. It's better to actually start from the inner part and then go towards the front and then go towards the outer part. For this one, I'm gonna be using two boxes. Same lights as before. I'm not going to be wrapping the whole wreath with the lights because again, it's too thick and I don't want the lights to end up not being enough. So I'm going to be using the green wire to hold them in place. I got the lights fixed. Next thing is gonna be the huge bow. Do we hate it? No, let's get. How am I gonna hang these outside? I need like a wire. Yeah, I can use this one. I'm just gonna make a double. I could use a wire hanger, but I don't have a wire hanger. And that brings us this version to a total price of around $34, depending which lights you use. You can go as extra as you want. And I also had these huge bells. I don't even know where I bought them. What's up, Mika? And this is how it looks like so far. This is the back. I'm going to be adding more lights to them. This is how both look like. And it's time to hang the wreath. I'm gonna get this one here. I'm using these vinyl siding hooks to hook it. They were like $5, and I'm just going to try to reach as high as I can up there. Okay, hopefully that holds the whole thing. Let me see how it looks from behind. Then I just need to run the cable to that side. That's where I have an extension cord. And then I'm gonna be using, oh, actually I can use another hook for siding to hold the cable. Oh, there. Ready? Here we go. For the small one, the one that goes on the window, I'm gonna use this piece of ribbon that I left here